just mentioned in telling us about the ambulance calls that there's a special period between Yom Kippur and Sukkot, and that leads to the general theme. That leads me to ask you about the general theme of this whole series, which is the question of time. Why is it that Sukkot comes so soon after Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur?
There are two answers you can give to that question. One is that one possibility is actually, and this will not be my ultimate conclusion, but there is a truth to this, that it's actually not linked to Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur at all. What I mean by that is that there are really two separate cycles of holidays that are going on. One is holidays focusing on universal themes of creation, judgment, atonement, repentance. That begins in Tishrei, when the creation of the world is marked, and that's why, as we said on Rosh Hashanah, the liturgical themes are much more universal rather than covenantal in nature. And then on the other hand, you have a covenantal year, which is the Jewish New Year, which begins in the Jewish New Year, which is really Nisan, the month of Pesach, of Passover. And the holidays in that cycle go Passover, Shavuot, and Sukkot. And Sukkot, rightly understood in this way, is actually the last holiday of the Jewish year. The reason why we have, in addition to the holiday, Shmini Atzeret, right? And if you think people find Sukkot made up, Shmini Atzeret is the ultimate made-up Jewish holiday, the way people react when you tell people you got to take off a period from work. That reminds me, there was one of the other great reflections of the bizarreness of Sukkot was on the show 30 Rock. So there was a Jewish member of the staff or something, and he was having his contract negotiation. And one of his contract demands to the executive was the right to take off for any Jewish holiday, no matter how ridiculous. Then he says something like, it's almost Yagnat now, or something. And in the end, the executive bargains him down. So he says to him, you could take off for one Jewish holiday. What's that one where you guys sit in booths? So that's the strangest holiday we have. So Shmini Atzeret, rightly understood, the reason why we add on a day to Sukkot is because the last holiday of the year. Remember, in the time of the Bible, there is no Pesach. There is no Hanukkah. There is no Purim. So if the Jewish year starts on Pesach and then continues all the way through, ending in Sukkot, Sukkot's the last holiday of the year. So there's a special goodbye. That's Shmini Atzeret. So there is one way of seeing the Jewish calendar in the way that they're actually two separate cycles.
But you don't accept that?
Well, there is a truth to that in the sense that the Jewish calendar is there's always a tension between the universal and the particularistic, and it is running several different cycles as one. But the two do meld. And so in the melding, Sukkot is understood as the celebration that follows, the joy that follows, repentance and atonement. In the most beautiful way of understanding it is the link between the sukkah and the chuppah, or the wedding canopy. And within this understanding, the luchot, the tablets of the law, were the ketubah, as the rabbis themselves described in this way. They were the ketubah, the marriage document or the betrothal document between God and the people of Israel. And as we discussed in our last lecture, it was on Yom Kippur that the tablets were given back, restored, which means that Yom Kippur is not only a day of mercy and repentance and atonement, it is, as it were, the day of the reunification of God and his people, or actually Israel's wedding anniversary. And so if that's the moment of the betrothal, it's then followed by 7 days of celebration, just as every wedding is followed by 7 days of celebration. So understood in that way, Sukkot is nothing less than the wedding celebration of God and his people.